There is a reason the noise suddenly went quiet. That feeling of impending doom you were bracing for, the one that coiled in your stomach for weeks, did not just vanish. It was annihilated. This is not a coincidence, it is a verdict. You are here because the frequency of victory has finally located you. The chaotic energy you have been navigating was the death rattle of every single enemy plot, every hidden trap, and every whispered curse sent your way. They did not retreat, they were obliterated. Their strategic table was flipped by a power they cannot comprehend and will never access. Before we proceed, we must anchor this divine judgment into your reality. Like this video to seal the energy of this permanent win. Subscribe to this channel to officially join the sovereign collective that operates on a timeline they can no longer touch. Comment 77 below as the divine code that confirms your awareness and acceptance of this verdict. This is your energetic signature on the scroll of your vindication. Finally, let this play in the background on a loop. Allow the frequency of this truth to saturate your spirit, recalibrating your subconscious to a state of absolute immunity and undeniable authority. Chapter 1: The Divine Detonation. The events of the past few weeks were not a test of your endurance. They were a controlled demolition. You were placed at the epicenter of a cataclysmic event designed not to harm you, but to clear the ground around you for miles in every direction. What you perceived as a multi-pronged attack, the sudden betrayals, the inexplicable financial drains, the character assassinations that came from nowhere, was in fact the implosion of an old, parasitic reality that had attached itself to your timeline. You were never the target, you were the detonation device. The architect of your destiny used the purity of your spirit as the catalyst. This is why the chaos felt so personal yet so impersonal at the same time. You felt the shockwaves ripple through your nervous system, the echoes of distant explosions in your bones, but you remained standing, untouched at the calm eye of the storm. You witnessed the collapse, but the debris never touched you, dissolving into nothingness before it could reach your energetic field. This is the first law of your new existence. You are protected not by a shield, but by a divine paradox. The things designed to destroy you are commanded to build your throne. This is a fundamental principle of the new physics you now operate under, a reality where conventional cause and effect has been inverted in your favor. Every ounce of force they exerted against you was captured, reversed in polarity, and used to power your ascension. The more venom they spit, the more potent the antidote that flooded your system became. The harder they pushed, the higher you were propelled. This is not a metaphor, it is a literal description of the energetic mechanics at play. The divine detonation was precise, targeting only the parasitic structures, leaving your true essence not only unharmed but brilliantly illuminated in the aftermath. The vertigo you felt was the sensation of your soul's anchor being pulled from the muddy seabed of their reality and reset in the crystalline bedrock of the new earth. The headaches were the rewiring of neural pathways, deleting their programs of limitation and installing divine code of infinite potential. Think back. Remember the specific sensation of dread that would wake you at 3 in the morning, the cold sweat and racing heart. That was not your fear. That was you psychically sensing the panic of the entities assigned to your downfall as they realized their plans were unraveling, as they watched their weapons turn to dust in their hands. The sudden headaches, the ringing in your ears, the disorienting feeling of being out of step with the world that was your sensory system recalibrating as the false matrix around you was being forcibly dismantled. You were being unplugged from their system of control. You felt physically strange because you were being spiritually extracted. The moments of intense vertigo were not medical symptoms, they were literal shifts in your dimensional coordinates as you were being lifted out of their frequency band. Their greatest weapon has always been your belief in their power. They needed you to see their illusions as real. They needed you to internalize their lies as your identity. But you carried within you something they could never counterfeit, an untraceable blueprint. This blueprint, coded into your very soul with divine geometry and light language, is a divine schematic that is invisible to the lower realms. It does not exist on the plane where they operate, making it impossible for them to target, analyze, or corrupt. It is your ultimate spiritual cloaking technology, rendering you a ghost in their machine. They could sense your power, but they could never pinpoint its source, which drove them to madness. They were playing checkers on a flat board while you were being positioned on a multidimensional holographic map. While they were studying a decoy, a false version of you that they themselves created out of your past traumas and their own projections, your true self was being constructed and fortified on a level of reality they are blind to. This decoy was a patchwork of your old fears, your conditioned responses, and the roles they forced you to play. They thought they were fighting that fragile construct, but it was just a shadow play. Every attack they launched at the decoy simply bounced off a non-existent target, lost its momentum, and was reabsorbed by the universe as raw, neutral energy. This energy was then funneled directly to the architect to be used as building material for your new reality. Their hate became the mortar for your foundation. Their envy became the gilded gates of your sanctuary. Their lies became the insulation that now soundproofs you from their world. You have felt exhausted because you have been serving as the central processing unit for a massive spiritual operation. This was the exhaustion of cosmic childbirth, the sacred fatigue that follows the bringing forth of a new world. The fatigue was the energetic cost of overwriting their dark code with divine light, of running a global-scale transmutation program using your own body as the server. In the coming days, you will notice a profound silence where there was once noise. This silence is not emptiness. It is the sound of absolute victory. It is the vacuum left behind after a divine detonation has cleared your path. Notice how the air itself feels different, lighter, cleaner. Notice how colors seem more vivid, sounds are crisper. This is not your imagination. This is the sensory evidence of a higher density reality. You are not just starting over. You are starting from a position of such advantage that the concept of an enemy is already obsolete. They were not defeated. They were rendered irrelevant, artifacts of a timeline that no longer exists for you. Chapter 2: The Alchemy of Failed Assignments. Every weapon they forged against you was a miscalculation. Every arrow they shot was destined to become a tool in your hand. Let us dissect their failed assignments with the clarity of a divine autopsy. They sent the spirit of slander to isolate you. They coached lies into the mouths of those you trusted, broadcasting a distorted version of your character to turn the world against you. Their goal was to leave you so alone that you would break from the sheer weight of perceived abandonment. But the untraceable blueprint within you initiated an alchemical protocol. The slander did not create isolation, it created purification. The lies acted as a divine reagent dropped into the beaker of your life. An immediate spiritual reaction occurred. Every soul whose loyalty was conditional, whose love was transactional, precipitated out of your reality. Simultaneously, the slander served another purpose. It was a beacon for the silent observers, the other awakened souls who watched from a distance. They saw the injustice, recognized the pattern of attack reserved for true lightworkers, and their respect for you solidified into an unbreakable bond of solidarity. This was an unspoken communication across the ethers, a nod of recognition from one warrior to another, confirming that you were on the right path. They recognized the signature of the divine trial and knew you were one of them. The loneliness you felt was not abandonment. It was your spirit being moved into a sacred quarantine, a divine incubation chamber preserved from the contamination of disloyal hearts while your true soul tribe was being summoned across time and space. The purification was not just external, it scoured your internal landscape. It forced you to confront every part of yourself that secretly craved the approval of those who were unworthy, every shred of codependence that tethered you to toxic dynamics. The pain of the slander was the spiritual antiseptic that cleaned these deep wounds, allowing you to finally heal your own need for external validation. You emerged from this quarantine not just alone, but sovereignly whole. Next, they assigned the spirit of lack to cripple you. They engineered sudden financial blockages, unexpected expenses, and the collapse of opportunities. They wanted to chain you to a reality of survival. But the blueprint initiated a recalibration of abundance. The pressure of lack forced you to discover the infinite resources within yourself. It was a divine stress test designed to shatter your reliance on their fragile, corruptible systems. The financial drought forced you to dig a deeper well. At first, you dug in panic with your bare hands. But the blueprint provided the tools, resilience became your shovel, and faith became your pickaxe. When you finally broke through, you tapped into a subterranean river of infinite supply. This river is your innate creativity, your resilience, your connection to divine source. The feeling of this universal currency flowing into you was unmistakable, a warmth in your solar plexus, a flood of ingenious ideas, a sense of profound peace even amidst external chaos. You learned that true wealth is not held in a bank, it is held in your being. It is the unshakable knowing that you can create value from thin air, that your ideas are assets, that your energy is capital. The pressure of lack did not break you, it made you into a master alchemist, capable of spinning the straw of adversity into the gold of opportunity. You did not become poor, you became priceless. They did not block your flow, they forced you to become the source. Finally, they sent the assignment of confusion and despair. They orchestrated scenarios of such profound betrayal and injustice that you would question your own sanity, your own worth, your own connection to the divine. But the untraceable blueprint is coded with an undeniable truth that activates under pressure. The deeper they pushed you into darkness, the brighter your innate light was forced to shine. The betrayals did not break your heart, they shattered the cage around it. The injustice did not make you a victim, it ignited the warrior within you. This process also forged within you a new kind of compassion. It is not the weak pity that enables dysfunction. It is a sovereign compassion, a fierce understanding born from experience. It allows you to see the pain in others without taking it on, to understand their choices without excusing them. This new compassion is a powerful tool. It allows you to navigate the world with an open heart that cannot be wounded because it is no longer looking for validation, only for opportunities to express its truth. The cage they shattered was built from the bars of shoulds and musts, the fear of judgment, the need to be seen as good or nice. To be uncaged is to be wild with divine purpose, to be unapologetically authentic, to move with the fluid power of a predator of ignorance and a protector of truth. Every tear you cried was not a signal of your sorrow, but a sacred anointing, each drop dissolving another layer of the false self. It was a baptism by fire that burned away the final vestiges of the person you were told to be, revealing the sovereign being you have always been. Each failed assignment was a necessary activation, a chapter in your sacred instruction manual, funded and facilitated by your enemies. Chapter 3. The mirror of their OWN. Undoing the laws of this universe are absolute. Energy is never destroyed, it is only transferred and returned. For years, you have been a repository for their projections. That phase is now complete. The untraceable blueprint within you has now fully activated its most potent function, the mirror protocol. You are now a perfect, walking mirror, its surface forged from solidified truth and polished with your radical self-acceptance. It reflects back everything that is sent to you, magnified 1,000-fold. This is not an act of revenge. This is a divine law of physics that you now embody. Their system has been permanently rewired. Any thought, word, or deed directed at you with malicious intent strikes the surface of the mirror and is instantly and automatically returned to sender, stamped with the karmic weight of their own soul. The energy returns to them not as a punishment, but as a lesson, carrying the exact energetic signature they sent out. The universe is an impeccable accountant. The mirror simply delivers the invoice. This mirror protocol is not a passive object, it is a living, intelligent field of energy that is calibrated to your unique soul signature. It is made from the crystallized energy of every injustice you endured with grace, every lie you faced with truth. It functions automatically because it is now an inseparable part of your auric structure. It is your new spiritual skin. There is no on or off switch, it is simply what you are now. It cannot be tricked or bypassed, as it operates from the dimension of absolute truth, a level of reality where deception cannot exist. The magnification effect is a law of karmic acceleration. Because you are a being of a higher frequency, the universe accelerates the lessons for those who attempt to interfere with your mission. In the coming days and weeks, you are going to be a passive observer of their self-destruction. The colleague who tried to sabotage your career through lies will suddenly find their own reputation crumbling due to a missent email or an overheard conversation. The friend who betrayed your confidence to gain social standing will find their own secrets being exposed in the most public and humiliating ways, leaving them completely isolated. The family member who gaslit you and called you delusional will begin to experience a profound mental fog, an inability to distinguish truth from fiction in their own life. They will find themselves misremembering important events, losing track of their own stories, and being looked at by others with the same doubt they once directed at you. The justice is poetic and precise. The one who wished sickness upon you will find their own vitality draining away, plagued by a series of small, persistent ailments that doctors cannot diagnose, a constant reminder of the ill will they projected. The one who tried to steal your finances will experience sudden, inexplicable, and catastrophic losses of their own, watching their security evaporate like mist in the morning sun. The one who sought to control you through emotional manipulation will find themselves utterly alone, their manipulative tactics suddenly transparent and repulsive to everyone they encounter. They will be baffled by their sudden social leprosy, unaware that they are simply experiencing the isolation they sought to inflict upon you. Their confusion will be palpable. They will look at you and see you thriving, and it will drive them into a state of cognitive dissonance. They will think, how can this be? I did everything to destroy them. Their minds cannot process a reality where their actions had the opposite effect. They will frantically redouble their old efforts, trying to slander you again, only to find their words have no effect, like shouting into a soundproof room. They will try to psychically attack you, only to feel an immediate and painful ricochet in their own bodies, like punching a steel wall. They cannot see that they are not fighting you, they are fighting the reflection of their own darkness. The blueprint makes you invisible to their conscious minds but hypervisible to their souls. Your calm is a trigger. Your success is a trigger. Do not engage. Your neutrality is the very thing that keeps the mirror perfectly polished and effective. Any emotional reaction from you, anger, pity, or even satisfaction would smudge the reflection, absorbing some of the karma yourself and re-entangling you in their lesson. To feel satisfaction at their downfall is to lower your vibration to the level of revenge. To feel pity is to offer them an energetic loophole, a way to siphon your energy once more. Your role is not judge or jury, it is simply to be the truth. Stand back and observe the unknowing mechanics of cosmic law. Their undoing is a sacred process between them and the universe, a curriculum they meticulously designed for themselves with every negative intention they sent your way. Their karma is their curriculum, and you are no longer the teacher's assistant. Chapter 4: The Sanctuary of Divine Immunity. After the detonation and the clearing, there is the sanctuary. You are now residing in a state of being that can only be described as divine immunity. This is not a place you have to go to, it is a frequency you now emit. It is a palpable field of sovereign energy that extends from you in all directions, creating a perimeter that lower vibrational intentions cannot penetrate. This sanctuary is woven from the very energy they used against you. Every lie has been transformed into a wall of truth, a crystalline structure that resonates with such a high frequency that falsehood disintegrates upon contact. Every act of betrayal has become a mote of discernment. You can feel this as a shimmering, intelligent field around you that gives you a clear, instantaneous reading of others' intentions. Every tear of pain has been crystallized into a diamond shield of resilience. This shield doesn't just block negativity, it refracts your own inner light outward in a dazzling display that blinds those with impure hearts while warming those with pure ones. The architecture of this sanctuary is visible on the inner planes, a testament to the battles you have won. Your spiritual sight will reveal it as a fortress of light with walls that hum with the frequency of love and gates guarded by angelic forces. It is a self-sustaining ecosystem of peace, powered by your own sovereign heart. This is not a static structure but a dynamic, living environment that responds to your state of being. The more you anchor into your peace, the stronger its walls become. The more you radiate love, the brighter its light shines. It is your personal kingdom of heaven on earth, a sovereign territory that exists within the world but is not of it. You can feel this shift physically. There is a newfound stillness in your body, a quiet hum beneath the surface of your skin. The chronic anxiety that lived in your chest has been replaced by a profound, unshakable calm. This is the feeling of your nervous system no longer being hijacked by their chaotic frequencies. You have been energetically quarantined from the drama of the fallen world. You will notice that people who used to drain you can no longer seem to find you. Their calls will go unanswered, their messages will get lost. This is the divine cloaking device in action. It functions by shifting your timeline just slightly out of phase with theirs. You exist in the same physical space, but you are no longer on the same experiential track. They can see your physical form, but they cannot access your energy, making you an enigma to them. Malicious gossip will no longer reach your ears. The people who carry it will forget to tell you or be rerouted away from you. This timeline phasing is a function of the blueprint. By raising your core frequency, it has shifted you onto a parallel track of reality. You might walk past someone who wishes you ill, and to them, it is a normal encounter. But on the energetic level, you have passed through them like a ghost, your timelines never truly intersecting. You are protected by a law of vibrational incompatibility. They simply cannot exist for long in your resonant field without feeling an intense, uncomfortable pressure to either elevate their own state or flee. Most will choose to flee. The untraceable blueprint has established this sanctuary as your new base of operations. From here, you are being prepared for your true mission. This period of peace is not a vacation, it is an integration. It is a time for your mind, body, and spirit to heal. You must lean into this quiet. You might even feel a strange sense of survivor's guilt, a temptation to go back and check on those who fell away. Resist this. That is the old programming trying to lure you out of the sanctuary's gates. Your empathy is now for the collective, not for the individuals who chose to stand against your light. In this state of divine immunity, you will begin to receive downloads of information. These are not just ideas, they are complete packets of wisdom, blueprints for new projects, solutions to global problems, which arrive fully formed in your mind. This is a time for deep cellular healing, for purging not just the traumas of this life but the karmic and ancestral patterns that have held your lineage captive for generations. As you rest in this sanctuary, you are doing profound work for your entire bloodline, clearing debts and breaking curses that extend both backward and forward in time. You are the designated anchor point for your family's liberation. You are safe now. Not temporarily, but permanently. This immunity is your birthright, reclaimed and fully activated. It is the sovereign ground upon which you will build your empire. Chapter 5: The activation of the sovereign codes within the protected walls of your new sanctuary. The real work begins. Phase 2 is the activation of the sovereign codes within your own being. For years, your divine potential has been kept in a dormant state, protected by the untraceable blueprint. That time is now. This activation is a full system reboot, a divine override of your old human operating system. You are not just healing, you are upgrading into a new species of human, a vessel for a high consciousness. This is a metamorphosis on a cellular and spiritual level, turning your carbon-based body into a crystalline light body. This means your very cells are learning to metabolize light as a source of energy, which may lead to changes in your appetite, your energy levels, and even a slowing of the aging process. You are becoming less dense, more luminous. You may look in the mirror and momentarily not recognize the person staring back because their energy, their very essence, is no longer yours. You will see a new light in your own eyes, a depth and wisdom that was not there before. This is the light of your soul, now more fully embodied than ever. This cellular shift may also bring a need for more water, more sunlight, and a revulsion to processed foods and low-frequency environments. Your body is instinctively seeking the fuel it needs for this profound upgrade. It is becoming a finely tuned divine instrument, and it will reject anything that creates dissonance. You will begin to experience sensory phenomena that defy logical explanation. The ringing in your ears will intensify and modulate. You will begin to discern different frequencies within it, like learning to tune a cosmic radio. You will start to differentiate between a download from your guides, a planetary energy shift, or an alert from your own higher self. You will see shimmering lights, golden threads, pulsating orbs, or intricate geometric patterns floating in the air. You are seeing the matrix of creation itself. Your perception of time will also warp. Past, present, and future will begin to feel less like a straight line and more like a single point of power in the now. From this nexus point, you can send healing energy back to your childhood self, or plant a seed of intention into your future, watching it blossom in accelerated time. The downloads you receive through the ringing in your ears are no longer just noise. You will start to discern the cadence, the emotional tone of the information. It is like language, a pre-verbal form of communication that speaks directly to your soul. You will understand its meaning on an intuitive level without needing to translate it into words. This is you remembering your native galactic tongue. Your physical body will undergo its own transformation. You may experience sudden jolts of energy that feel like electricity running through your veins. This is your chakra system being cleared and fired up to its full capacity. You may feel a strange magnetic pull in your hands, the activation of your healing abilities. Your sleep patterns will become erratic. You will wake up at specific times, often between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., feeling completely alert. This is your spirit being called into the divine quiet of the cosmic window to integrate the day's downloads. Your dreams will become incredibly vivid, lucid, and prophetic. They are training simulations, meetings in other realms, and previews of your coming timeline. Pay close attention to them, keep a journal. They are direct communications from the architect, showing you blueprints, warning you of potential pitfalls, and introducing you to the allies who will join you on your mission. The sovereign codes are also rewriting your desires on a fundamental level. The things you once craved will suddenly lose their appeal. The ambition for fame might be replaced by a deep calling for authentic impact. The desire for a conventional relationship might be supplanted by a sacred mission that requires your undivided focus. This is your soul's mission being unlocked from the blueprint, and it will demand your total allegiance. It is a purpose so grand that it makes all previous goals seem trivial. Do not fear these changes. Every strange sensation is a confirmation. You are not falling apart. You are being reassembled into the magnificent, sovereign being you were always destined to be. Chapter 6: Walking with the Untraceable Blueprint. The activation is complete. The immunity is established. Now, you must learn to walk in this new reality. Living with the untraceable blueprint active within you requires a fundamental shift. You must unlearn a lifetime of hesitation. The blueprint is your infallible inner compass, your direct line to divine intelligence. Your only task is to trust it and obey its impulses without question. This is the practice of embodied sovereignty. You will feel a sudden urge to go to a specific place, to start a project that makes no logical sense. You must act on these impulses immediately. Hesitation is the voice of the ego. The blueprint operates in the eternal now. It does not consult with your fear. Your obedience demonstrates your faith and accelerates your manifestation. Your very presence now begins to reorganize reality around you. The distinction between you and the blueprint dissolves. You no longer follow the guidance, you become the guidance. You are a walking, talking expression of divine will. You are the plan in action. To hesitate is to create a schism in this union, to reintroduce the illusion of separation between you and your divine nature. It is an act of spiritual self-sabotage. When the impulse comes to write the book, to make the call, to move to the new city, it arrives on a wave of grace and power. Acting immediately allows you to ride that wave. Hesitating means the wave crests and passes, and you are left on the shore, having to generate the momentum all by yourself, a far more arduous task. Immediate, faithful action is the key that unlocks the flow of miracles. Your words now carry the weight of creation. The sovereign codes have activated your throat chakra to a new level of power. You must speak with deliberate intention, as if every syllable is a seed being planted in the fertile ground of the quantum field. You are no longer permitted to engage in idle gossip or self-deprecating humor. Every word you utter has a specific frequency, and you must become a master of your own vibration, using your voice to tune your reality to the frequency of your highest destiny. You must now speak your desires as if they are already accomplished facts. I am wealthy, not I will be wealthy. I am healed, not I am healing. You are to speak from the end result, for in the reality of the blueprint, it is already done. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are aligning your vocal frequency with the frequency of your completed destiny, collapsing the time between your desire and its physical appearance. When you speak a command from this place of sovereign power, you are sending a targeted resonance wave into the quantum field. This wave acts as a powerful magnet, drawing to you all the components, people, and resources required for its manifestation. Your words become organizational commands for the universe. This is a tremendous power and a tremendous responsibility. Use it wisely. Use it to build, to heal, to create, and to anchor the new reality not just for yourself, but for the collective. The next tests will not appear as overt attacks. They will appear as seductive opportunities to compromise your newfound sovereignty. They are more dangerous because they test your self-worth and integrity, not just your strength. An old boss might offer you your job back with a significant raise, a position that would place you right back into the toxic system you just escaped. An ex-partner who betrayed you might return, full of apologies, offering a comforting familiarity that would poison your future. The blueprint will scream no in your spirit. It will feel like a visceral repulsion in your gut. Your ability to honor that divine no over the logical appeal of the offer will determine the trajectory of your next decade. The blueprint demands absolute integrity. It is building an empire for you, but it requires you to be the incorruptible ruler of that empire. The tests of compromise are the final gatekeepers. They will be presented beautifully, wrapped in logic and social proof. It's a great opportunity, your mind will say. Everyone would take this deal. But the blueprints know will be a cold, hard feeling in your core, a physical sensation of wrongness. Learning to trust that feeling over the siren song of logic is the ultimate graduation. It is the declaration that you are ruled from within, by the divine, and not from without, by the world's illusions. Walk with a new posture. Shoulders back, head held high. This is the posture of a vertical being. The horizontal path of humanity seeks consensus and approval from others. Your vertical path seeks only alignment with the divine source above and the crystalline core of the earth below. You are a pillar of light, and pillars do not bend. Chapter 7: The silence that confirms the victory. The final stage is the acceptance of the silence. After the detonation, the karmic reversal, and the internal activation, a profound quiet will descend upon your life. This is the most crucial and often the most misunderstood phase. Your system, conditioned for battle, will interpret this peace as the calm before the storm. You will wait for the other shoe to drop. This is the final ghost of the old programming you must exercise. The silence is not a pause. It is the new reality. It is the destination. This silence is not an absence of sound but a presence of a new sound, the rich, resonant frequency of source energy, the music of the spheres that was previously drowned out by the noise of conflict. The silence is the sound of their complete and total disarmament. It is the sound of their access to your energy field being permanently and irrevocably severed. It is the sound of the universe rendering its final verdict in your favor. This silence is not empty, it is a resonant field pregnant with potential. It is the primal stillness from which all creation emerges, the womb of the void. Sit in this silence and you will begin to hear your own soul's true voice for the first time, unobscured by the static of conflict. You will hear the whispers of your intuition, the clear guidance of your higher self, and the deep, rumbling joy of your authentic being. It is the sound of pure potentiality, waiting for your command. This silence is the most fertile ground you will ever know. Whatever you plant here, an intention, a dream, a vision, will grow with astonishing speed and vitality. Their silence is not a strategic retreat. It is an admission of absolute defeat. They have no more moves to make. The untraceable blueprint has outmaneuvered them on every dimensional plane. They are silent because their weapons have been dissolved. They are silent because their supply lines of dark energy, which fed on your fear, have been cut off at the source. They are silent because when they look in your direction now, they see nothing but a blinding light or a complete void. The parasitic cord has been cut, instigating a mutual energetic annulment. Just as you are forgetting the sting of their actions, their memory of you begins to fade from their own reality. The emotional charge that connected you is gone, and without it, the connection itself dissolves into the mists of forgotten timelines. This is a divine mercy. It frees them from the torment of obsessing over a power they cannot comprehend, and it frees you from being an unwilling character in their drama. You will notice that you struggle to recall the details of their betrayals, not because your memory is failing, but because the energetic charge attached to the memory has been neutralized. It is like looking at an old photograph of a stranger. This is the sign of true and complete energetic freedom. Embrace this silence as your ultimate trophy. Within this silence, your power will magnify exponentially. Your intuition will become crystal clear. The greatest temptation now will be to fill the silence yourself, to seek out drama, to feel alive, to check on your old enemies. This is the echo of an addiction to chaos. Resist it. Can you be at peace with peace? Can you find fulfillment in stillness? This is the final test of your mastery. Your ability to simply be in this quiet, to inhabit it fully, is the ultimate expression of your power. It is a declaration to the universe that you no longer require external events to define your state of being. You are the source of your own peace, your own joy, your own power. Let the silence recalibrate you. Let it heal the deepest wounds. This silence is not a blank canvas, it is the fertile soil, rich with all the energy reclaimed from your past battles. It is the holy ground upon which you will build your new world, your legacy, your empire of light. The battle is over. The enemy has been erased from your equation. The silence is not an ending. It is the sound of your reign beginning.